Good evening, gentlemen. It's your boy Sir Yeetus, and I'm here with episode 100 of Sir Yeetus' Thoughts. I never thought I'd get this far. 100 live streams. Do you know how many hours that is? That's a lot of hours. But the grind don't stop. Not for Sir Yeetus, not for the Warband. And there's a few things that I would like to recap on and talk about on why my topic is what it is. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of things in society that's out of our control. A lot of things in our society that is out of our hands now as men. But anytime that as men we walk away, they demonize us for walking away. That's crazy, right? They say that we're obsolete, and we say, all right, go ahead and do your own thing, I'll do mine. And then they turn around and call you an extremist. Ain't that some shit, right? That makes so much sense. But here's the kicker, gentlemen. They're not trying to see who's right or wrong. They just want to hear these sweet nothings. I'm talking about modern women and society in general. They just want to hear these sweet nothings to validate how they feel. They don't care about logic and rationality as much as they probably should. But at the end of the day, it's all about how they feel. And you know that there's more and more videos. Shout out to One Fast Stack, uh, E Man, 67. What was it? RP Man 67. I keep getting his name wrong. Shout out to Ribby. Shout out to all these channels that are just showing you how it is. And recently, there's more videos popping up on modern women. All of a sudden, they don't want to be modern women anymore. All of a sudden, they don't want to be independent anymore. All of a sudden, they're looking for a man for protection. But see, here's the kicker. A quick analogy: why would you constantly abuse somebody and expect them to come back in good faith? Right? It's like physically attacking a dog over and over and over again and then expect the dog to just come back in good faith. Don't get me wrong, a loyalty in a dog is very strong, but it gets to the point where it's enough. I want you away from me. You beat me down to the point where there is no loyalty, there is no protection for you. That's a decent analogy I'm trying to put out there. The audacity of society, of modern women, constantly bashing men for the last 60, 70 years, only to come back when things are getting real. And I mean, really real. All of a sudden, they want us, they need us. Remember, gentlemen, they are happily gleeful to put 90% of men in jail as long as they're able to put in 10% of men that are guilty. So 10% of men are guilty, 90% of men innocent. They are happy with the results. Why? Because in their minds, what they've been taught all this time is all men are just evil, right? Oh, toxic masculinity. Oh, why you have this testosterone flowing through your veins? Until the barbarian comes to the doorstep. Until society isn't as comfortable as it used to be. Something ain't right. Something's changing. It's not changing for good. All of a sudden, they want to renounce their feminism. You don't renounce your feminism. You don't. And all this, oh, I was wrong. I was this. I'm looking for a traditional relationship, but it's far too late. It's far too late. Men do not have high standards at all whatsoever. And y'all still couldn't do it right. The fact that our comfortable society is slowly changing to be not as comfortable. Now they want to be submissive. Now they want to be a so-called wife. Once again, you revealed your true colors, which you had a taste of liberation and freedom, fighting hard to be just as equal as men in all aspects of society, such as social, such as the workplace. But you can't handle the responsibility, can you? You can't handle being held accountable. That's why you just can't help it. If anything goes wrong in your life, you're looking for a scapegoat. And what's the easiest scapegoat? Men. Modern women can do the most heinous of crimes, do the most heinous things to men and women, and sometimes even children. Somehow it's still the man's fault. So now, it's gotten to this point right here. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of photos. Uh, let me put it up here real quick. So, do you guys want to deal with something like this? Right? This is pretty much modern uh, relationship slash marriage. This is what you're gonna be dealing with 24/7. A modern woman that hasn't been taught values, ethics, morals. A woman that believes that she is above you in all aspects and won't give you any type of respect as a man, any respect as a parent, as a dad, as a person, just because you have XY chromosomes. And then if she wanted to, and we say this countless times, if she wanted to, she can easily end your life. I'm talking about in a reputation sense, in a divorce sense, in child support, alimony, all that stuff. And then she can find her next victim and do it again. Ain't that crazy? So the fact that now things are not looking as great as it should be, now they want to be traditional. They don't even know the meaning of traditional. Nothing in this Western dating or marriage is traditional. The traditional meaning of marriage is dead. How many times do I have to say it? You need to accept that no matter how much you have that hope factor, no matter how much you look through life in rose colored glasses, you need to understand it is what it is when it comes to this aspect. Why would you hope that one little 0.01% that she will actually be a loving, caring, traditional wife? When there's a 99% chance that she can easily walk away with all your hard work that you were trying to do to make your relationship, marriage, family work. Just because she doesn't feel like it anymore. So do you guys really want this? Or do you want this? Look how peaceful it is. Look, just look at it. Just you only have to worry about you. Hell, add in a dog if you have a dog. But it's just you doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Worrying about yourself, on your purpose, on your grind, and just focus on your happiness. It looks great, doesn't it? I'll check the chat right now. It looks amazing. This is it's gotten to the point right here, gentlemen. It's gotten to the point. At this point, when it comes to a modern man society, if you are self-aware of what's happening, your best bet is to practice self-preservation. This is my end goal right here as a man. This is my end goal. Just me doing me, not worrying about anything that is gonna keep me chained in the plantation. I'm able to go wherever I want and do what I want to do because I want to do it. Not because of society, not because of your wife, not because of your kids, not because, oh, it's trendy. I'm my own man. I want to do what I want to do. But somehow, some way, I guess that is a very extremist view because you already know how it is. Men need women for reproduction, but women need men for reproduction and survival. So the more men, they're like, you know what? I can do my own thing. They start freaking out. They start to have second guesses like, oh man, oh, there's more and more men walking away. Oh no, what do I need to do? It's too late. It is too social media has been the biggest factor of showing the female nature. Because before social media, we only had the TV, you only had people in the neighborhood, or we had uh, all these things to make modern women sugar, spice, and everything nice. But for some reason, probably just out of craving for male attention or just straight up narcissism, they straight up told on themselves, bragging and doing the most horrendous things in front of the camera. So why do all that? Why brag about your Jezebel behavior and then turn around and expect a man to fulfill his duties, his end of the deal in a traditional sense? But yeah, you gave up the one thing that a man wants when it comes to starting a family to other men, Chad and Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray. You gave it all. They didn't even have to work for it. Hell, they probably only bought you a Subway sandwich, and you gave it up to them. But by the time that you're done riding the carousel for 8 to 10 years, all of a sudden you're gonna have a man pay for what all these other men got for free. You guys need to understand this. This is pretty much the end game. How can the West not be the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah or Babylon? It's insane, and the things that they've been doing for the last 15 years. Because I'll say around 20. Because that's when social media got popular. It revealed what they truly want and who they are. Men aren't stupid, okay? But men are like, yo, why do these women act like this? Yo, what is going on? Oh, this is weird. What do? We study extensively. We research extensively on why things are happening, and we do not base it on how we feel. We clearly just do it on logic and reasoning. So now we came to the conclusion that, damn, literally majority of women are like that. All women are like that, depending on your view. Where they literally have a long line of uh, beta male orbiters just waiting for you to mess up so they can take your place. And she knows this. She has all these options. You being the male friend, knowing that you like her more than a friend, but she's using that to her advantage. She knows this. knowing that she can abuse the system over and over and over to humiliate a man, get a man hurt, or just ruin him as a whole. And she can do it again and again and again and again. There's this one video that came out. Oh, before I get to the video, sorry y'all, I need to get to the super chats. My bad. Island Hermit, what's going on, man? Thank you for the donation. A guy at my work was telling me how a friend of his in the Navy was falsely accused. The woman finally admitted she made it all up, and he almost went to prison. Yep. And guess what? Guess what happened to her? Guess what happened to that female sailor? I guarantee you nothing happened to her. So at that point, why wouldn't a man want to go this route? Because like I said before, the modern day shenanigans that are happening, it's a renaissance, it's a rebirth on how men and women see relationships. It's a rebirth, especially for men. Like, holy crap. Maybe I don't have to be obligated to take care of a woman no matter how many skeletons she has in her closet. I can just walk away from it all. And that's what irks the hell out of society today. Like I said before, 8 years ago, men with this mentality wasn't taken seriously. But now they're like, oh snap, more and more men are starting to catch on, which they kind of, are out of touch. A lot of men are catching on around the world. We need to do something about it. If you want to be single, if you want to be a bachelor, you are an extremist. Once again, chat, like, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? It is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. And this one video that popped up recently, there was a woman clearly got everything in her life living on mommy and daddy's money. I'll see if I can find the video and show it to you guys. She said that $120,000 is broke. If you make around six figures or $120,000, you're broke in her eyes. I can't survive off that money. $10,000 a month is little to me. I can't survive off of that. The audacity. I'm not surprised, but the audacity. Oh my God. That's how delusional it's getting, gentlemen. That's how delusional. And then she made another video saying, "Oh, I didn't mean to sound so entitled." Girl, you are entitled. You are delusional. You probably never had a work a day in your life for you to even think that sentence was a good idea. Saying that, oh, $120,000, you're still broke. You're still broke. It happened, gentlemen. It happened. I'm sure that you guys seen it around YouTube, but if not, I'll definitely pull up the video sometime today. Do you know how quick I can retire if I was able to make $120,000 a year right now? Do you know how quick I would be able to do what I need to do when it comes to doing what I want? Because there's men out there surviving off of $20,000 a year, $30,000. The average in the United States alone is around $51,000 a year. And she had the audacity to say, "Oh, 120,000. Oh, you broke. You broke as hell. You broke." Wow. So you see where I'm coming from, right? And she says, "Well, in New York and California, that's not enough money, Listen, I know somebody making 60 grand right now, live in LA, doing just fine. You want all that money because you want to get that Birkin bag, those Gucci fucking glasses and Louis Vuitton and all that useless nonsense stuff. Maybe that's why you believe six figures is still broke to you. Okay. Maybe if you and around 80% of the rest of the women that's participating in consumerism in the United States learned how to save money, you wouldn't be in this predicament. How quick, and she's 25 too. That's the hilarious part. How quick to call a man broke when she doesn't even have money like that herself. Wow. Wow. I literally can do so much with $120,000 a year. I don't need much. I don't need much. None of us here need that much. Not saying that you can't spend something nice on yourself here and there, but what man in their right mind, especially in the chat, is going to tell me, "Oh, making $120,000 a year, yeah, you still broke." What the fuck? Let me read this other super chat because I almost missed it. My bad. Rio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Give guys the martial art Discord's launch. Let's get that training in. Long live the Warband. Oh yeah. Side note, yeah, if you guys want to talk about any various martial arts or the philosophies that go into martial arts, go ahead to that Discord and go ahead and talk about it. But besides the point, besides the point, this is what I'm talking about, gentlemen. Why else do women have such ridiculous high standards? A, yeah, it could be insecurities, but B, the more money you make, the more money she can take from you. I repeat, the more money you make, the more she can take away from you. And she knows this. Once she feels bored in the relationship, unhappy in a relationship, that's a retirement pension right there. Take half your stuff plus alimony or any kids, child support, and then she will go on to her next victim. Once again, gentlemen, once again, do you want this? Do you really want that? Really? That's the end goal that you guys are trying to do? I really don't see an upside to this unless you're trying to make a family. But even then, in making a family, it's not a good deal for men today. It's not. Or you want this. Chilling, having the time of your life, peace, quiet, nature, just chilling, just vibing. The only responsibility you have is you and your dog. It is batshit crazy out here, gentlemen. That's why I say it is what it is. Okay. You control what you can control with your own two hands. Don't freak out and go nuts like society is doing right now. Male feminists, uh, the feminists in general. That inflation's going up. They can't afford gas. Inflation for rent is even going up like crazy, especially in Florida. They can't afford rent, so they have to go homeless. There's reasons why they want to say that they're traditional now, quote unquote. They will say whatever they have to say, do whatever they have to do in order to survive, gentlemen. They can't physically force you to do something. So, what's the next best thing? Manipulation, lying, gaslighting. they'll make you seem like the crazy one, which is what's happening on a societal scale, going after men that just want to be alone. For some reason, you're not allowed to be alone. I guess that's an extremist view. That's pretty weird to me. Very weird. Because I don't think any time I've said that I hate women. We don't hate women. Just because we call women out on their bad behavior decisions doesn't mean we hate women. And that's how they interpret it. See, that's another thing, gentlemen. It's not about what we say, it's about how we say it as well. Right? Because once again, it's about how they feel. So when we point out and hold women accountable for their own screw ups, it's how they feel at the moment. Like, oh man, this guy must hate all women. How dare you point out our faults and our horrible decision making and bad behavior, making us take responsibility for our own downfall. How dare you? You must hate women. But when modern women can just accuse a man off of words alone with no proof whatsoever, obviously the man is innocent, but he's possibly is going to jail for decades or even for the rest of his life. So a man can't point out the obvious of what she's doing is wrong. But a woman can easily false accuse, no proof, no nothing. Obviously, he's innocent. She can falsely accuse this guy of doing something bad, and he can get himself in jail, hurt, or killed. And when it finds out that she was lying this entire time, nothing happens to her. It was a hit, organized hit by her, and she knows this. But when you point out the obvious, especially when she brags about it on social media, I guess you must hate women. You guys understand how crazy that sounds? So let me do it one time. Do you want to deal with this in 2022 and beyond? Do you really? Or just be vibing with this? Because literally at this point in 2022, the Western women, the Western women that has all the laws, the state, the media, everything that backs them up, can easily finish you, easily end you. Choose wisely, gentlemen. I can't force you to do something, right? You're a man. You're gonna do whatever you please. I completely understand. But based on what I'm telling you, or what the two pictures that I'm showing you, do you really want to take that risk? Last thing, and I'm sure you guys can agree with me as well. Marriage for men is like this: somebody takes you to a landmine, 100 landmines out in the field, and this person says, "Hey, there's 100 landmines out there, but 50 of them will explode and yeet you straight to heaven." Would you still walk through that landmine? That is how men view marriage in 2022. That's how men, hell, even view relationships in 2022. And don't get me started. Don't get me started on how plenty of women and weak beta males, they love to say, "Hey, you know, Why are guys here? Guys are dumb. Guys are stupid. Guys are obsolete. Guys need to go to war and die. That's all you're good for. And they've been saying that over and over and over and over for years. It's okay to be weak. I don't know why you go to the gym. I don't know why you're fat phobic. I don't know why blah, 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 blah. Literally trying to rewrite the definition of what masculinity is, even though they've never had a father figure in their lives or they're not a man themselves. So, but I guess they know better than us, right? But immediately, the things that pop off in Ukraine happens, we need to do something about it. We need to go over there and fight and intervene. We need to go. And you're thinking to yourself, like, we who's this we? Who's this we? You talking about me? Go over to a country that literally is none of my concern, literally has nothing to do with the United States for the most part. So you want me to go, but you get to stay here and chill and still ride on the carousel for whoever's here. So you want to go over there and pass away in a horrible fashion for a country that's not even mine, while you're over here having a good time. Now imagine the similar things that happens in Ukraine happens in the US. All that down talk about, oh, men this, men that, men are horrible, blah blah blah. Guess who is the first people that they're going to be looking at? The very first people they're going to be looking at is men like us. They were going to be looking for us. And they're going to be so shocked and confused when men with actual masculinity is nowhere to be found. They'll be so shocked. You really think men that advocate for weakness is going to go out there and actively fight the enemy? Or will they lay down the weapons? Because at least to me, the masculine men, they're only going to be worried about their self, their land, their property, or whoever is close to them, right? Because the people that's within our group, they probably already had kids. So of course, as a father, you're going to protect your kids. And if the wife is around, because yeah, hey, before the Warband and all that stuff, yeah, guys were still married. So if it's not their own family, their own house, their own land, we don't care about the rest of y'all. We don't care about y'all. I'm only going to take care of what's important to me. You lost that privilege. You lost that right. Why would I protect a bully? And yes, bully that's been talking trash on men on a massive scale. Why would I protect somebody that's literally laughing about men getting beat up or dying or getting shot? Saying, "Oh, go to war and die. That's all you're good for." You revealed your faces to us, Western women. You revealed your face to us. So if things get nuts in society, now you wanna be this friendly, feminine, submissive woman? What? No, no. It's just gonna be me, land, house if I have one. Hopefully, it'll be like some type of RV or something. And anybody close to me that I'm gonna be protecting. The rest of y'all, good luck. It just shows that modern women, Western women, they don't give a damn about how their bad decisions and behavior will affect everybody. She is willing to throw anybody under the bus, anybody, just so that she can feel good. The only time that she will care if she is affected directly in a negative way. That's the only time that she will actually care. Then all of a sudden, she will try to make amends. Sorry, you had around 60 to 70 years to make amends on how you treated men and how you treated society as a whole. Majority of everything that you have in society is because of men. And this is how you repay us with this clown world shit show that we're having right now. Why is it always what you want, what you need on your time? 24/7. It's all about I want this, I want that, I want that, I want this. But not once you ever even processed and never went through your mind what a man wants, what being considerate on what the man has to say or how he feels, or whether if he's even willing to commit to you or not. You just disregard everything that a man has to say. Disregard a man's feelings, disregard everything. That's XY chromosome. And yet you're surprised at men just say, you know what? I'm cool vibing like the man in the picture with his dog. You constantly called men useless. You constantly called men obsolete. And you did it for decades. Why should a man try at this point? You taught him from young age all the way up until hell, pretty much the rest of his life. That, oh, the future is female empowerment, blah, blah, blah. Oh, why are men still around? Why should a man try at that point? But hey, my bad, y'all. Let me get back to these super chats. Because I know that my conversation is a lot more serious than usual. But I believe for the 100th live stream, we need to have an actual conversation, not just, mess around. Island Hermit, Western women have never been worse, monk mode. I agree. I definitely agree. Mr. Pliskin with the $20 super chat. Thank you very much, man. I choose a peaceful and quiet monk mode life. I'm telling you, peace and quiet. It is phenomenal. It is great to me. Like, what's it called? The old saying, the juice is just not worth the squeeze anymore. It's not. It's not. And if you really believe that it is, then you're lying to yourself. Because hey, don't get me wrong, you might get lucky. You might strike lucky and actually find a good girl. But that's like beyond rare at this point. Why will you risk your own livelihood and or your life just to find that 0.001% girl that's out there? Remember, gentlemen, we need to start thinking on probabilities, not possibilities. D-Man 50, marriage was dead before I was born. I'm telling you, man, marriage, the new definition is pretty much business. It's pretty much business. But hey, let me read these regular chat because I'm gonna read these. Etsy, I know it's not just Western women. I know. I'm just using Western women as an example because I do believe AWOL, right? All women are like that, but the laws and cultures are different. In other countries, their hands are more tied than in the United States. So it's a lot harder for them to even try to screw you over. And plus, their culture themselves that they're taught uh, since birth, there will be instilled values and all that stuff to the point where she will have a different mindset for the most part. Don't get me wrong, she still may try to find a way, but at its core, and especially if you teach her young and keep her away from this social media and all that crazy things that will influence her, it's way less likely for her to do some crazy shit. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. I can't even read today. I agree, Apple. Do. Peace, quiet, and freedom. I agree. Do. Line of MGTOW marriage died when no fault divorce was legalized. I agree. I definitely agree. And final one. Fair point, but it's getting worse everywhere. Yeah, I see. I don't see feminism as the greatest thing. It's just spreading around and what's it called? Especially in various Eastern countries as well. It's definitely spreading. Which is why I say we need to think on probabilities, because the probability of having a traditional family is becoming less and less. Something big has to happen to restart everything. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time. All right, guys, I'm gonna put down the link again if you want to join the chat. And thank you for the super chats. If you want to continue to donate to your boy, Sir Yeetus and the Warband, you can donate through Cash App. You can donate through uh, PayPal.me/Sir Yeetus, or you can just continue doing the super chats like the usual. Okay. All donations are definitely appreciated. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't even think that I'll have so many views, so many subscribers, or even make it to 100 live streams. You guys definitely put in a good amount of investment into the channel, and I thank you very much. All right, I'm going to start adding people right now. Carry on. What's going on?
I'm doing good.
Single Town Bachelor.
Hello, hello there.
What's going on? So, when it comes to the topic today, especially me saying it is what it is, how how would you interpret that in today's society? Like, how would you, how would you, or why would I say that? Why do you think I would say it is what it is when it comes to the West?
Because you have given up?
Pretty much. I
Just
don't
like
like that.
this?
I don't. I don't like that word, giving up. But
No. Just
no, I agree. It's just
the,
that
the,
it's the
the
fact
the
that we.
number of women who says, "Oh, there's no good men around," and then
No, I
boys
no.
boys in America can say, "Wait, where's the good girls are? Where are they? Where are they?"
I
Um,
yep.
um, it's what is a self-describing prophecy. Um, that both sides cannot find anyone good in their perspective. They want they want a 6 feet tall guy and 6-figure income and six this and 6 inches down south, and yeah, you know the drill. Um, it's a crap show because I don't know about heights in America, but the stats I've seen is that what is it? 10-15% of guys in America is 6 feet tall and above. So it's kind of funny though. Um, so yeah, that's I kind of don't see that coming to a closure for the women. And now the what's called divorce ruling in or the divorce laws in no fault divorce is in full swing in England. So Breitbart would say that went up 50% for about a week later. The number of divorces. So you cannot make this shit up. You really cannot.
You can't at all. And
Um,
when I say
it,
about giving up, though, okay. Once again, I don't like the word, but
no, no,
you
no.
tried so many times, over
Yeah,
and over.
I've personally I've tried enough times to say quits, but I'm currently having a girlfriend, so I haven't given up totally. But I said to her numerous times, if this doesn't work, I'm done. Period. I don't want to waste my time on more women. Period. Because they're a drag. Especially if they are
Well,
online. Uh,
and once again, there is no hatred for women.
oh no, no, no! I
I,
just
what,
want to, hashtag respect your vows. That's
yes,
that's
respecting
one.
vows, huh?
Yeah. That's my creation. Yeah. Yeah.
But hey,
Because
carry on.
Yeah.
I want you to answer this before Single Town Bachelor continues. So, what do you mean when I say it is what it is? Because people want to, will probably interpret it differently. What do you think I mean by that?
It's how the cookie crumbles, the way life is. Like, how do I say this in a way that you can get everything I want to get across? Society is set in a certain pathway. You can't change it. Well, you can't change society as a whole because there's so much people and they have their own thoughts and their own beliefs and so on. So the best you can do is live your own life. Maybe you can affect a small amount of people with your sphere of influence. Yeah, you might save a few people, but in the end, society's going a certain direction. You can't stop a tidal wave. You just have to make sure you get out the way and make sure you don't get hit. So that's what's happening with society. It's like, hey, it is what it is. It's probably going to go even worse than it is now. I can't stop it completely. Even if I had the power to stop it to a certain degree, as soon as I leave, it's just going to happen again. So I'm just going to raise my hand and say, I told you everything
Hey
I
guys,
told
keep
you.
going, but I'll be right back. Keep going.
Yeah, that's what I can say with society. Like, I can't help society anymore. I tried my best. What I can do is help people that come to me.
yeah.
It's kind of sad that we got to a point that, well, we can't really save society. We have to make sure it collapses down. Well, not collapse down, but it's decaying. And when anything decays, it's probably going to collapse. But
You
we
have
want to
to
try to
take
save
care
as
of
much
your
as possible.
family and yourself.
Yeah.
You have to I don't know, but creating a bubble
Ark.
around
Yeah,
you
it's like
because
Noah's Ark and all that shit.
yeah. Um, because it's the societal changes are rapidly going on, and you want to protect your family and those that you love in your life, just as much as you love life itself. So yeah, Yeah. Go to the gym, Island Hermit. Go to the gym.
He said, nah. That's what I was like. You want to save your family, but sometimes like you can't save every member of your family. It's just like it's not going to work. It's like I want to help people. I really do want to help certain people. It's like, but it's like they're just so messed up. It's like I can't save you because me saving you would drown myself in the process.
Yeah. Well, it's it's like the scale, you know, ups and downs. It's simple as that. You want to defend as many people as possible, but on the other hand, you want to take care of your personal integrity.
Okay, I'm back. We're going to start adding more people. Real talk. What's going on, man?
How you doing, my brothers?
I'm doing great, doing
Hello.
amazing. And I'm also going to add Brandon Trueblood.
Good afternoon and congratulations.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. It's definitely because of y'all. Okay, you guys definitely made it very interesting. You know, I thought I was going to get a bunch of man-hating, feminists left and right. But no, got a bunch of like-minded men that's really willing to talk about actual important things. So it made things interesting and definitely made things fun as well. But we'll start with Brandon.
Well, I'd like to say that I believe marriage died in 1964 in the United States. That's when they passed the Welfare Act and Big Daddy government became number one in the household. And ever since then, women have not needed to have a relationship with a man. They can't be trusted to make moral decisions because every time they've been given a choice, they have chosen selfishly. They don't choose for the family. They choose for themselves. Worldwide, these women have murdered 1.7 billion children in their wombs. And we expect them to choose wisely for the family?
Oh, damn.
Brandon, if I could ask you a question, would you say that solidified the woman's dual mating strategy? Like dual mating strategy was put in concrete as soon as the government came around.
Well,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like, you know how women dual mating, they want the best looking guy to have all the pleasure and fun with, but then they want the guy with all the resources to marry and settle down with. It kind of seems like the government might have been a part of that dual mating strategy because they were given freedom at that time, you know?
They've
been doing that for centuries, maybe like hundreds of thousands of years. Like this is nothing new. When they could do it, they could do it. It's just an innatural trait of women. It's nothing new. It's nothing surprising. People knew about this.
Well, I'm not saying it didn't exist before, but I'm saying like it being concrete and stone, because if you have the availability for resources, at that point, you no longer really need a man for those resources. And then you can just go pleasure overload, you know?
Well, pretty much, but three factors kicked it to hyperdrive, right? Like what Brandon Trueblood said, Planned Parenthood, social media, and birth control. That's what kicked it to like the speed of light on their hypergamous behavior. Uncontrolled hypergamy is the society that we have today.
Well, look at how much sex a married guy gets compared to an unmarried guy.
Yep.
Right?
Because
now, if you add in the government who's not trying to have sex at all, who's the better partner? from a woman's point of view. It's not her husband.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They see marriage as a retirement pension. It's got to the point where it's a business, you know. If you even want access to this puniti, you're going to have to pay up a lot, right? Instead of making a one-time payment, you're leasing her for at least 10 to 15 years until she isn't as, how you say, attractive anymore, right? Because the wall hits. Then she will be like, oh no, I got to live my Sex in the City lifestyle, and then divorce you and take all your shit. So based on that alone, right? All these crazy factors that nobody in human history ever took consideration to is screwing everything up. And once again, if Western women, modern women, actually, you know, make good choices and accept their responsibility and accountability for their actions, it wouldn't have been as bad. But of course, it's the complete opposite. You know, not surprising. Anything that goes bad, no matter how horrendous their decisions are, somehow, some way, it's still the entire male population's fault. Somehow, it's just like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm playing some Call of Duty. How the fuck is it my fault? I did many shit. What? Like I'm enjoying this beer. Like, who are you? Like, like, how is it my fault? It's gone ridiculous over the years. So
it completely has.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. So let me read some of these comments right quick, and we'll move on to the next topic. Yeah, modern marriage, government, woman, and man. Yep, because it's pretty much, how do I say? It's pretty much like a big boss guy, just sitting at the main table. That's the government, and then, you know, got the woman on one side, the male on the other side, and then he will just slide out this contract like, "Hey, sign this." And he'll whisper sweet nothings to this man ear about how great the marriage life is.
How much meat she's gonna give him.
Yep, while she's smiling all gleefully and like, yo, this dude's stupid, right?
And hands on the diamond ring, yeah.
That's why they say, read the fucking contract. Read the contract.
Yep.
Because there's things between the lines, things that you miss within the fine print. Okay?
Things from the old social contract that they left out.
Yes, and it includes marriage. It doesn't matter if it's a business. Marriage is a business, so you need to treat it as one, right? And you, as a man with common sense, will look through the contract like, God damn, like, yo, this contract sucks.
Yep. You need to be out of the city limits.
But at this point, right? And all of us men, we already know.
Yep.
We already know. Men.
I've been married. I know.
Yeah, I know. But the bigger picture I'm trying to explain is, with more and more men realizing that, oh shit, this contract sucks.
Yep.
And they're like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. The government stuck with the bill. Okay. And yeah, I know it's not the government, it's the tax dollars. But you get what I'm saying. Who distributes the tax dollars? And you know that without with more and more men walking away, how are they going to keep fueling the government assistance? It's going to eventually run out, and it will run out very quickly, especially within 20 to 30 years. Social Security, I'm already writing it as a net loss already. There's no way by the time I'm 60 or 65, I'm going to see Social Security.
67 and a half, sir.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Wait, did they raise the age?
Yeah.
Add to it.
Oh, motherfuckers. Yep. See,
they've done it here also. What was it? Depend on when you were born.
That's
they
true.
Went up to from 67 to 71, 73. depending on the year that you were born. So thanks a lot.
And how old is how old are you right now, Brandon?
I'm going to turn 55 on Thursday.
So
Hey,
he may be one of the last people that's going to be seeing Social Security.
I don't think I'm going to see it, Geet.
no,
You think it's going to be
Yep.
gone within 12 years?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
stack your cash.
Social Security, they messed up because they didn't raise it when the life expectancy went up. Social Security was originally set up to support 5% of the population.
I agree.
And they people started living longer, and for a long time, they didn't raise the Social Security age, and they should have.
Okay, so if somehow
People used to retire, and then 2 years later they die.
if somehow, some way, your Social Security is still around within 12, somehow, right? It's some fucking miracle. You're definitely gonna be the last group.
For financial responsibility, I would actually like the government to raise the retirement age so that it matches the 5% marker that is sustainable.
75?
Well, that would mean we'd retire at 73. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's financially responsible.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
But
we
the
have gotten
government
spoiled. We've gotten spoiled and think we deserve 25 years of retirement.
Oh,
I'm set up for it, but most people aren't.
I did say this yesterday. That by 2050 there will be more elderly people than not babies, but working adults.
Yeah.
So there's no way, and that's how society collapse can happen, because there's no way that there won't be enough people to replace the workforce.
Especially when the women aren't having babies.
Exactly, and that's by choice. Who's gonna replace the construction, engineering, oil rigs, minefield, whatever it is, right? Because majority of those jobs are held by men. Who's going to replace them?
Like Jordan Peterson.
Once again, if whoever, one or two women that are listening, this has nothing to do with, oh, you hate women. We're just stating facts. That's it.
Well,
I'm just reminding you guys.
What happens if AI takes over?
We're going to have a iRobot situation, or
I mean,
Skynet?
A lot of factory jobs can be done much cheaper with automation.
Well, I agree with that. I was going to the extreme, talking about like an AI takeover. But hey, the AI
they're doing it already here in Denmark.
Yeah, here in the U.S. too.
They try. They try absolutely, because the industry has done research on it, and by 2030 they are missing 100,000 in whatever craftsmen's they have electrician and the works. So yeah.
Well,
they're gonna shit their pants.
Well, the retail service is already dying. They're replacing it with AI robots. Delivery service, such as Amazon, a lot of them, it has a lot of robots to do the majority of the work, all that stuff. As long as they're not saying destroy all humans, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Yeah.
It could happen. Hell, like, oh, humans are a cancer to the earth. Like, unplug that motherfucker right now.
The funny thing is that Björn Lomborg has done some research on the electrical cars, and if we buy 100 million of those cars, they will have an impact of reduction 0.3% on the gases. So it's crap. It's ludicrous.
It's a
Steve
scam.
Steve Sanchez. I know it's against their nature, but modern women should think more ahead in the future. I'm sorry, ladies, but cats aren't capable of working. See, this is why I always say it's majority of them, because I'm not saying all of them can't think long term, but that's the exception doesn't make the rule. So majority of them, they don't learn until it's too late. I always say that. They never learn until it happens on the spot. And then they will truly see that, oh man, maybe I made a mistake. But it's way too late now. Like like it's already came to pass. You should have thought about it before. But Sex in the City. But shut up. Who was that? Okay.
Sex in the City? I hate
I was
that
gonna-
show.
But what about Kim Kardashian, Sex in the City? Yeah,
Wait,
have
Sex
fun.
and the
Trash
City is
TV.
a TV show?
What? What'd you say?
Trash TV.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, right? They're like, oh, what about my, my Bridezilla, Kim Kardashians?
I haven't
Okay.
seen
If you're
crap
gonna be
since
watching all that,
2009. I
but if
haven't
you're gonna be
seen it.
watching all that though, if you want to bitch about that, bitch about it to your cats, not to me.
Yeah. Meow meow.
It's too late. You had all these years to settle down, but you thought that you can live that lifestyle for the rest of your life. See, the delusion, man. That's why I say social media is a bad thing.
The funny thing is that if you take out and see the real life of the characters, Sarah Jessica Parker and the rest of them, how many of them is actually married?
Sarah
have
Jessica Parker's been married for 30 years or more.
Yeah. So they pretend and this is life, and then yeah. No, you literally can take the crew of that and find out that most of them are having a long-term relationship.
I definitely see
It's
what you're saying.
anything but an illusion. This yeah.
Hey, carry on.
Yep.
You're maybe about 20 or so. I don't know exactly how old you are, but I know you're pretty young. How do you see yourself providing for yourself without a family structure and without being able to count on the government?
Shit.
You know,
Man,
where
I'm
do you
still
see yourself in 60 years?
60. Honest, I don't know. I'm gonna be in 5 years half the time, but in 60 years,
Well, I know what I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Just put it out there. Like, you just gotta learn to be self-efficient. You as a man should learn to be self-efficient in the first place. But of course, you were failed by the decades of the mom running the dad out the house and stuff. So
Well, by 60 years, I'll be 80. So,
well, yeah. But shit hits a fan. I highly doubt people be living that long. So I agree. But at the same time, a lot of young men were disadvantaged just solely because of the mom's selfishness and running the man out of the house. Okay, for a majority of the part. Not say 100% of the time, but majority of the time, what happens? So the young man is unable to learn the things that he needs to do to be self-efficient, just in case things are crazy, right? Oh, at least I know how to make a campfire. Oh, at least I know how to, hunt some food, small or big game. I know how to create a little shelter. I know how to fix a tire, fix an engine. Like, see, those are a lot of things that many men they weren't able to do for decades now, solely because it's advocated for the man to be removed from the family picture, right? Destroy the nuclear family. So now eventually we came to weak men that we have today in society. It's
And
it's,
she
on,
had
it's definitely nauseating to even think about it. Like, you really, this is what's it? And then that one speech of that one dude was saying, "Oh, it's okay to be weak." Ugh, disgusting.
No, it isn't.
Which one? There's too many.
Yeah, that's a. Oh, it was. Damn, I don't know if it's a dude or a chick. I'll assume it's a dude because it was a big black guy with the blonde hair. You know, probably identifies as a dude. I don't know anymore. But talking about, oh no, men need to, stop being toxic. It's okay to be weak. It's okay. See, that's the quickest. Do you know how quick I would have been yeeted out the window if my dad heard me say that? That it would be like instant. No, it's not okay to be weak as a man. It's not.
No.
I,
Apologizing is a sign of weakness. Complaining is a sign of weakness.
exactly. Not saying that. Oh,
Not cooperating is a sign of weakness.
you can admit when you're wrong. Fine, fuck it. But
Yeah,
you will
can admit when you're
accept.
wrong, but you don't apologize for it. You say,
Exactly.
I'm going to learn from this.
Exactly. I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do in my mind. And you'll be willing to accept the consequences of your actions. Because guess what? Men hold other men accountable, whether you like it or not. It is what it is. That's just how we roll. You know, unless you're part of the powers to be up there with the elites, where they just, have each other's back and do some horde shit. An average man, we're going to hold you accountable if you do something stupid. So, and if you're caught red-handed and there's actual evidence, just deal with the consequences. You chose to do this, so deal with the consequences. Not too many. Not too many. I wouldn't say not too many, but there's plenty of men out there that are literally personifying as females, and it's getting crazy.
Well, they
And-
see the women and the victims out there, the Alphabet Soup Club, the Skittles chasers. They see them
Mankind.
getting ahead, and they see normal masculinity being shit on. So they're playing the system.
Yeah, but like I said before, it's something
They don't
similar.
have a man to tell them, "Stop that shit, you dumbass."
Right, and it's like I said before, it's something similar that happened in Ukraine happens here. Guess who? We are the first ones they'll be looking for, but we'll be nowhere to be found. Like, where
Depends
are
on the situation.
Well, if it's me protecting my own property, if me, sure. Everybody else, no. No. Unless I know I can work with you. I'm talking about as a man to man. That's different. So you much rather work as a team than be a lone wolf, in my opinion. But in the end, everybody else, especially the alphabet community and all that stuff that trashed us for decades. Good luck. Because you said you didn't need me. You said I was obsolete. It is what it is.
Well, I know I live out in the country, and I introduced myself to my neighbors. And I said, if anybody or anything's going on, come and get me. I'll help. And I expect them to do the same thing for me. Because if, the fecal matter hits the rotating oscillator, I'm just one man. I know I can keep probably, 5 to 10 people off of my land. But what if there's 30? What if there's 50?
Right. I agree. That's why I say it's better to be in a group that's willing to work together than to be a lone wolf. No matter how good you are, gentlemen, I'm sure some of you guys are expert marksmen, expert survivalists, but numbers in the end will always win, especially during a shit hits the fan scenario. So, and plus Brandon, he's been through it. He's been through the fire while he was in the military. So,
I was in the Navy, man. I wouldn't say that I'm been through the fire.
well,
I've been to war, but
yeah, you've been to that danger zone situation.
yeah, I've been shot at, but that's,
right.
It's a lot different when you're cruising along at 400 miles an hour than it is standing there with a rifle in your hand in a foxhole.
I agree. That's why I say numbers always win. Numbers always win. You listen. You must be phenomenal. You must be the Punisher, but there's only so much you can do. You're still human at the end of the day, gentlemen. So, if possible, definitely get one or two people, or hell, don't get a group too big, in my opinion, but just enough people to know where that you can at least have a fighting chance against a big group of like 20 or 30. Because if you have around 10 people that actually knows how to shoot and fend for themselves, the number of games won't really matter. Right? Because I guarantee you, a lot of them haven't used a gun before in their lives. A lot of them haven't been up close and personal trying to rob you of your food and stuff. So there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors I'm getting into. But Single Town Bachelor, do you have anything to say to the Warband before you head out?
Well, remember this, guys. Puniti.
Puniti. All right. I need to add Real Talk back.
My bad.
Hey, give me 1 second. Who's this?
Who this?
Yeah, who this?
Who dat?
New phone number. Who this?
I called in once before. I was that guy who was all talking about my daddy being a criminal and all. It is what it is a line that is what comes to me whenever I think about my childhood. But another line, a phrase that you can tack alongside that instead of quitting, it's more like a silver lining.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, well, there's only so much I can do as one man, right? It's only so much before it's like, well, just let the situation take its course.
I find it very stoic. I like it.
Definitely.
Yeah, stoicism's the best.
Because now they want us in the current time frame right now. They want us as men in the States go to another country, even though we just pulled back from war, right? Not that long ago in a horrible fashion. They want us to go back over there to fight a superpower that just is 99% chance will end with nukes flying around the skies, right? But they want you. Yeah. Not themselves, you.
It goes to show how little they think of you, that we're just pawns so that they can stack their money.
Cannon fodder. What'd you say, Brandon?
I was going to say nobody's saying that we should go fight over in Ukraine. There's no, that's not policy.
No, I'm talking about the liberals and feminists.
Yeah, well, they might be.
They're in an uproar saying we need to go over there. We need to do so. But I'm like, what do you mean we? What? Why do I have to go over there? I know you're not going to go over there, so you want me to go over there. But why?
I don't want my sons to go over there.
Right. This conflict has nothing to do with us, in my opinion.
No.
If it was our country and my family's in danger, that's when I'll pick up the weapon, make sure that my family, my property, my house is good. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, what's up?
I was just going to say, I think we've all came to a point of acceptance that the majority of what we were told as kids growing up was a lie. And then we've just kind of shifted that into stoicism and indifference. Like, we don't really give a fuck except surviving what is to come. You know, like, there really isn't any point in caring about really anything else except keeping yourself as optimistic as possible and prepared as possible. You know, we're like just indifferent to it all now.
Yep, and you know how it is when you're stoic with a woman personally. Like, you just don't care. It freaks them out, doesn't it? I don't give a shit. Like, what's up?
I said it drives them insane when you don't talk.
Don't talk, don't react. You just leave me alone. I don't care anymore. You refuse to talk to them. It definitely makes them go insane. Now imagine that on a societal scale. I'm just saying, like, that's what's happening right now. Like,
Yeah,
more and more men are like, you know what? I'm just gonna play this video game. Yeah, I like video games. Let me just play some video games. Well, what do you mean video games? You're supposed to go and get married and have 10 kids and let me divorce you? No. I'm gonna play this video game.
One time in my life, I know you guys are not old enough to remember this, but only one time in my life have people stood up and said, I don't think we want to go fight this war again anymore. And that was during Vietnam.
Yep.
But it took 500,000 dead American men to get to that point. We've gotten smarter. You know, we were saying before this stuff in Ukraine cooks off, we don't want to go. We don't want our sons to go.
Because
not our monkey, not our circus.
Because it would have been different if Russia started spazzing out and tried to do a Blitzkrieg 2.0. Like, if you just start spazzing on Europe. Okay.
Well, they tried. Russia fucked up. Their logistics, they couldn't handle the logistics. They remodeled their army to get away from mass attack, and they tried to emulate the United States. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm talking about if they use full power immediately, like 100%, and they start fucking ramming through Europe. You know, they're like, okay, this motherfucker's gone nuts. Okay, he's going crazy. Then I'll see some type of reasoning why, all right, we need to go over there and do something. Because if he's willing to try to yeet the entirety of Europe, then he's willing to use nukes as well.
Well, so full-blown mustache man.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say full-blown mustache man.
Yeah, I know who
you're talking about. At that point, you're saying that's when we have to, like, do something because this dude's pretty much going to try to be a fucking conqueror, you know?
Yeah, that's when I'm like, all right, that's understandable. We should do something at that point, because if he's willing to go that quickly when it comes to trying to take over the entirety of Europe or majority of Europe, what makes you think he won't try to fucking poke the hornet's nest with the U.S., right? There's always that one country during every big war. They're like, oh, look, a warship, let's take it down. Oh, look, there's a Navy base right there with a Navy port and all that. Let's kamikaze it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, as long as they don't violate our treaty, as long as they don't mess with a NATO country, we should stay out of it. Finland and Sweden have for years been playing both sides of the fence. Same thing with India.
That's where it's going to get very iffy, because right now I think it was Poland and one more country. Fuck, was it Finland? Oh, which country is on the border of Russia?
Well,
Finland.
It was Finland?
That would be Finland.
Yeah, they're already having talks of joining NATO. I'm like, oh, you stupid! You why would you put?
Why? Because they're afraid.
Yeah, but I'm like, you're not gonna win. Like, in a sense of, I understand why they do want to join NATO, because Russia will think twice. Like, he'll think very hard before trying to invade them. But at the same time, now that they're announcing like, oh, we're gonna join NATO, you really think he ain't gonna come after you by what, next month?
No, if they join NATO, I don't think Russia would come after them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Putin would think long and hard about doing anything crazy, but at the same time, the fact that you're announcing and say, "Oh yeah, we're going to join NATO," you really think that you're not having a one-way ticket to Putin's like, "All right, full speed ahead, let's take over these motherfuckers by like next month."
Do you remember the Winter War?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Finland, little bitty Finland, kicked the USSR's ass.
They did. I agree. They held their own very well, but it's don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Finland's not prepared. Finland has always been prepared for another, Putin shenanigans. But I'm just saying it's just going to, in my opinion, things are very uncertain right now because you know how it is when it comes to a world war. It's just like multiple countries and multiple. I hate this guy. I hate that guy. That guy hates this guy, and too many variables. But this war is different. Like we obviously know who. Well, we know who started, but the person that started it says that he has a reason why he did, a good reason. So it's going to be a pretty interesting conversation.
Well, they always say they have a good reason.
Well, you're talking about Joe Biden or Sleepy Joe? Oh, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Putin.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Putin started. Yeah.
Between Putin and Zelensky, both of them are not innocent. They're not.
Well, this war started when the Russians sponsored the takeover of Donetsk and Lugansk and the Crimean Peninsula. And then it was put into a ceasefire with the Treaty of Minsk. And now it's started back up again that ceasefire has been declared null and void because now Putin wants to denazify Ukraine.
The bad mustache man?
Yeah, but there actually are real Nazis
I know,
in Ukraine.
But hey, you can't say that word.
But there are real mustaches in Ukraine.
Just say you can say nationalist socialist because no one knows what that means.
Well, yeah, you could use that, but in the end, the war started in what 2014. You're talking about the
war? No, it started in 2009.
2009, yeah, where Obama's like, "Oh, don't cross this big red line," and Putin's like, "Nah, you."
Well, that was Syria, but yeah.
So yeah, Syria or Ukraine, whatever it is.
Yeah, the red line was in Syria.
Ukraine messing with Russia for the past 7-8 years as well on the eastern border?
They have had an armed border, and maybe 2 or 3 people would get shot a month on the border between Lugansk and Ukraine and Donetsk and Ukraine.
We will definitely save this conversation for later. Right now, Vid, do you have anything to say to the Warband?
Man, well, I'm with Carry On, man. I feel like he wants to say something about, hey, it's not as simple as it seems. We don't know what's really closed doors. I feel like he was about to say that.
Well, with Russia and Ukraine, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about in general. We can't tell if our countries aren't really the people behind all the shit why it started.
But the big thing is, I say personally, based on what I've researched, both Zelensky and Putin are not innocent in this conflict. So, and we will definitely talk about that later. Definitely not the West. But I'm just saying, it wasn't just, Ukraine, no. There's been a lot of factors on both ends on why this crazy shit is happening, right? There's always 3, 4, 5, 6, 200 sides to a world war story, right? But Vid, thank you for joining, and definitely call back later on.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Puniti. All right. Lion and MGTOW, what's going on?
What's up, fam?
How's life for you today?
Yeah, it's pretty steady. Besides the weather The weather sucked, but other than that, yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, before we continue, there's somebody that sent me a super chat through PayPal. Thank you very much. Support for the Warband. Keep the fire burning. Skull Lives Matter.
That's
Hell yeah. But once again, anybody that's still in the chat want to support the channel, support your boy, Sir Yeetus, or the Warband, you can super chat or donate through PayPal or Cash App. The link is on top of the chat. All donations are definitely appreciated. Lion and MGTOW, when I say it is what it is when it comes to Western society in general, do you feel the same way or?
Well, yeah, I actually feel the same way in some regards, but other than that, if things are just so radioactive that you've got to either put a stop to it or just take your shit and leave, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, because at this point, right? At this point, all we can do is advise the next generations of men of where society messed up, and hopefully they'll learn from it. That's the main reason why I do videos.
Yeah. And as you can see, like, there's more chameleons showing up and popping out of nowhere, and I agree though. I mean, what it is, what it is. But in regards to like the coming days, the food shortages and like rent increasing. I mean, I'm just all for men just doing what they have to do to survive and ride out the storm. It is what it is.
I agree. Like, once again, they're not a lot of people. They're not looking long term at all.
They're not planning ahead.
Unless something dramatic happens, where there's a change that's dramatic within the Oval Office, or in some type of miracle we'll be able to recover somehow. It's only a few more years. So it's only a few more years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Pragmatic man. When is Yeetus going to do all these part twos? After this one. After this one. So when it comes to it is what it is, right? All I'm trying to express is, hey, do what you want to do as a man. I can't stop you, but based on how and you're self-aware of what's happening today, why will you stress about something that's out of your control, right? Best thing to do is to worry about you, and you preach that all the time, Lion MGTOW.
Yes, you gotta look out for number one, even if you're being called a threat to national security for choosing to do that. But it's just
which is insane. Like what? Just because? So you clown a lot of men all these years for being single if they can't get a girl, but all of a sudden he's gone too far and he's an extremist because he's single. Like, which is it? Like, I'm confused.
Exactly. I mean, you jump from being a virgin to being a terrorist. That makes no sense.
Yeah, when you say it like that. Like, what? Like, you clown a man for not getting any girls. But then he's like, all right, fine, screw it. I'm just going to play some video games. All of a sudden, he's an extremist? What? That's why they don't like our message of, give them nothing, or just do your own thing. Focus on you.
Self-preservation. They don't like that. So you're not supposed to preserve yourself. You're supposed to continue to take the slings and arrows. You're supposed to continue to walk through this fucking minefield. It's absolute basket fuck.
They want you to be a walking wallet and a bitch-made simp.
Yeah, pretty much. You're supposed to be a pit wall and a bitch made simple. They're a crash test dummy, but considering how the rent is going up and a lot of these trolls are getting evicted or they can't pay their rent. And now you see there's an influx of them saying that they want a traditional man.
Yep.
Now they do.
Now they want a traditional man. I said, what the fuck? You want a traditional man, but you're not a traditional woman. I mean, you're a free range whore.
Why would a traditional man accept that?
Exactly. Why would you want that?
But of course, with the gaslighting and all the BS that's spewing out their mouths to try to make you look like the crazy one for even having standards in the first place.
Exactly. They can have standards all day, but you can't have any standards. If you have standards, you're a phobe, whatever the fuck the cliche is.
Yeah, the big three is what I hear them complaining the most about: gas, food, and rent.
Yep.
But I'm like, you're strong and independent. Like, why are you coming at me? Like, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? You can handle it. You say you didn't need us. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, they're strong and independent. They don't need no man. Let them weather the storm. Let them shoulder all the burdens by their damn self.
You're gonna walk by 3 out of 4 men being homeless every day, but when you're in danger, all of a sudden, you're looking for Captain Sava 304, huh? You just, oh please, no, I don't want to be homeless. All right, that's not my problem.
Exactly, it's not my problem, man. They hate the homeless. Hell, they don't like the homeless, and they don't even like they don't even like they don't even like men who are. They don't even like men who are average. You make $50,000 a year, you're fucking broke. If you make 6 figures a year, you're average. If you make 7 figures a year, that's not any real money. I'm like, God damn.
Here, let's see if I can bring up this video right quick. Did you hear about that recent video of them saying this one woman saying $120,000 you're still broke? I was like, what?
Are you kidding me, man? You could go to the South with $100,000 and just buy some fucking weird real estate. What do you mean broke? I mean,
it's like it's equivalent of children. Like, children don't understand what money is.
Damn.
They don't understand how much it values and how much you can get for like a pound. Like, you get money like, you get £5 or 10. Well, you guys don't have pounds, you have dollars, whatever you guys. I'm like, shit. So like, you get your currency as a child, like 10% of that, or something like that. You get it. It's like, oh yeah, it's a lot, but you don't know how much it is. And when you grow up, you normally understand the weight of what you're holding. But some people don't grow out of that phase because they're being pampered, and that's definitely what it sounds like from that woman. She's being pampered her whole life that she doesn't actually know the value of money.
Yes. So basically, she got pampered her whole life, and now she came an adult. She's financially illiterate. That is fucking sad.
Do you know how quick I could retire off of $120,000 a year? Like, within 5 years, I can retire. Especially putting a good amount of money in investments and stuff. I can retire off of that money alone because I survive off of 75% less.
Exactly.
You know how quick I'll be good? Oh my God.
Exactly. A man can survive on 10th what a family of 4 is making. I mean, hell, $100,000. Hell, I could build my fleet.
And it's appreciated, like I've never heard the term a woman works hard for her money. I've heard a man works hard for his money, but I've never heard a woman works hard for her money.
What's my money is my money. What's your money is my money.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing with it. Rules for thee, but not for me. I just fuck all that. To the hell with that. Smoke away.
Oh man. But in all seriousness though, that's all I try to tell, man. And I do agree with Williamson. They didn't live their lives the way of the Lord. Oh, real talk. I know you got this one.
Yeah, I mean, they I mean, there was a video put out by Sandman recently where he's going down all the religions, explaining how all of them have preluded to these women being essentially equivalent to evil. And if they are outside of the bounds of a man and the guidance of a man for him to be their spiritual leader, they're just demonic spirits, purely demonic. There's nothing else outside of a man. They have no connection to God. It's that simple.
Well, they're basically the embodiment of chaos without the man's guidance. when you really think about it. I mean, that's why the serpent went to Eve first. She's the weaker vessel.
So,
Definitely.
with one of the revelations, right? Which I've been thinking about lately, the good people will be perceived as evil, and evil people will be perceived as good.
Yeah, that was supposed to happen. You know, especially during these last days, there will be people out there who call good evil and evil good, and you see that right now.
Yep.
As in your best, as in they call your masculinity toxic, they call your nature toxic, but they call femininity good, even though femininity is chaotic.
Yes, and there's plenty of reasons. I'm not going to list. You guys pretty much already know. Plenty of reasons why I believe that that revelation hits way too close to home.
Actually, Revelation happens so many times throughout history that is. Well, people think Revelation is like a one-time event. I believe it's like an event of how civilizations collapse.
Yeah.
Because we got a history, you can see these events happen over and over again. They even talk about people defrauding money and making sure that money has less value.
Yep.
Society as we know it will be over.
There's one particular point that I think it's very eerie to the conditions that we're living under today. And I actually I offended a transformer today when I was getting breakfast.
Congratulations.
This creature had pretty much put its head in a conversation I was having with an older gentleman who's in his 70s. So this guy was a big history buff. You know, I'm really into history. And essentially I recited Revelation 3:9, and it describes, or it's a letter addressed to this angel in the biblical city of Philadelphia. And it literally says, beware of those who claim to have a small hat. They are liars, and they worship at the synagogue of Satan. It literally says that in the King James Version of the Bible, the New International Version of the Bible. And I'm thinking to myself, and not to take away from your point, Carry On, because there really is a lot of things in Revelation that have happened, but there really hasn't been a point in history where a small select group of people has been at the top of major institutions, essentially running the world to a certain extent. I think there's even bigger people who have influenced them and people with even more power. But I think they're a nice front for the New World Order. And I don't remember a time in history where it said these particular people will rule in the end times. Like, that's the craziest prediction you could ever make. And it's basically come true. I'm blown away by it, but hey, that's revelation for you.
Yeah.
Real talk. It did say the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
But the big thing, right? We want to go back right on topic because, real talk got a little bit based.
Well, he was a small hat, this trans, so he was super offended.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, as I made in my previous live stream, things are upside down. Degeneracy is being accepted throughout the West. And the fact that it's now slowly starting to become a normalized, because not yet. It didn't get to the fullest extent yet.
Yeah, you wouldn't know where it started.
Where?
It started. It actually started with the sexual revolution.
Shit, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all.
It did because during that time, all the feminists, they were sexually, what's the word?
Promiscuous.
They're sexually promiscuous, and they made that commonplace. Basically, when that happened, sex basically became cheap. Sex was cheap, and you had a lot of people going to and fro, engaging in all these orgies, having all this nasty ass sex, and doing their dirt to the youth. That's where it started.
I definitely agree, especially the creation of, once again, birth control and stuff, and then adding social media on top of that.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. They're essentially what's happening is they want to do their dirt to the youth, but they don't want to get penalized or thrown in prison for it. So that's what you're seeing right now.
Yep, and it's only going to get worse from here. But
it's going to get worse until somebody puts a stop to
it.
We'll still carry on.
It's like, if people were living how any religion was supposed like tell them or in a peaceful way. Would you really need birth control? Like, why would someone want to make birth control if they were living like, oh, you married your wife, why would you need birth control?
Because they want to be on that Jezebel behavior on
See,
demon
exactly.
time.
so like it was like there's certain events throughout history that we see it like we don't realize what's happening until like years later. It's like, oh yeah, that event was so dumb. Why did we agree to that? It's because we didn't really see like the vest that it will have. But when you're looking back in the past, like there was only one possible way this event could have actually affect the world and reality how it was.
That's true. That's true. But in all seriousness, I, at least when it comes to me, right? We know that things are past to. It's gone to the point of no return. So at this point, right, we continue videos just so that we can at least have a man be aware of the situation that he's in. But of course, they don't want channels like Mines and Line of MGTOWs to exist.
Yeetus, how can we as men influence other men to live, with morals, ethics, values, and principles?
They have to be taught young, unfortunately.
They'll have to also find it themselves. We can't force them to do anything.
That's a big thing. I can bring the horse to the river, but I can't force him to drink.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is while they're young, and of course, that doesn't really work anymore because the father has been kicked out of the home.
And the churches have gone feminine.
Yep.
Yes, that as well. Don't get me started on that. We are not going to start on that.
I was just going to say a healthy fear of God, Brandon, and the church is going feminine has really destroyed that fear of God, essentially.
That's why men don't go to church anymore. So
exactly, there's been a steep decline in the church going for decades now.
But right now, chat. Once again, thank you for these donations. I still got plans for the future. I got a couple of people that's going to hook up the channel even better than before. Right now, I'm just using StreamYard because it's a lot easier for me to navigate. But eventually, I will switch to OBS, like Chronic, pretty much. But to end this off, Line of MGTOW, what do you want to say to the Warband when it comes to the topic?
I mean, it's pretty much said a mouthful. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean that we can't give young men a playbook. We still give them the playbook.
Right. It's similar to what's a good analogy I can do? Okay, just give me a second. It's like when the ship is going down and only the few people in charge goes down with the ship, and the sailors are able to escape sees the damage, the horrible damage that was put on the ship that caused it to sink. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to learn from these events. So the captains, which I say the previous few generations, say, hey, it's too late for us. Look at what's happening. Learn from this because it's too late for us. It's not too late for you guys.
And then you have the monsters who try to pull you down with you. they're the worst.
Yeah, the Kraken out of nowhere, or Cthulhu just literally has dyed rainbow hair. Like, finally got you.
You're coming with me. I said, the hell I am.
I'll go down swinging.
I'll go out swinging, man. Get the machete.
Oh, like, do you see this, sailors that's on the coast? Do you see this? Learn from this while you're hacking off the tentacles.
Yep.
But carry on. You're next. what do you want to say to the Warband when it comes to the topic?
Shit, man. The world's fucked. It's actually the world's not fucked. The world's how it always was. We're just reverting back to the world how it was before men had to strive to build some form of safety, and we're gonna go back into chaos again. So all you can do is build a little raft and try and help people around you that you can trust. That they won't drown you if like the boat starts to sink a little bit. They'll just don't jump off the boat. They'll try and actually fix the boat with you. So you have to find people that are somewhat like-minded. Not everyone's going to think the same, but you have to find people that have certain core values and beliefs that are integral to you. So yeah, that's what I can say.
All right, carry on. I agree with that. Being around like-minded people definitely works. Okay, you don't have to think exactly the same, right? Having some sort of different opinions is very important to a group. You know, we're not like the sisterhood. Like, what? You are interested in the XY chromosome? We banish thee from the sisterhood. Like, what? Like, what are you talking? You trying to get married and have a nuclear family? How dare you betray us? Like, I don't even know you. Like, what the fuck? Like, who let them out of the asylum? Who are these chicks? Real talk. You're next. What do you have to say to the Warband when it comes to the topic?
Well, gentlemen, now that you've become indifferent and you realize that you've been lied to and that your God isn't a woman, you can finally get in tune with your purpose and you can finally, live for your God. If you didn't have a God to live for, then it'd be a sad existence, but you do have a purpose. She's never been your purpose. She's just only been a distraction from the serpent. So stick to your purpose, stick to your God, and you will find some salvation. And it doesn't matter what happens. You always know that you have that relationship.
Boom. I like that. Okay. Brandon, you're the last one.
Stay strong. Trust in yourself. Be calm. Don't let your emotions take over. It is what it is. You can't change some things. Change those things that you can change. Improve those things you can improve. And know when to just shake your head and walk away.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. Gentlemen, it's going to be interesting next few years. All I'm saying is buckle up and do what you got to do. Okay? Cuz at this point, are we really surprised that we're at this point? Just go outside and look around you. Look at the media. The lunatics took over the asylum.
And that's crumbling.
Literally. And guess what? They're just gonna blame you for them destroying the asylum. Logic, right? Logic, yeah.
And I'll be nowhere to be found.
Like, ain't my problem. I'm go all Evil Maguire, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye, some crazy shit. But it is what it is, gentlemen. Once you're able to accept that, life will also be much easier in the long run. Okay. I'm not saying you can't get married. I'm not saying you can't do all that. Do what you want to do, all right? But you need to be aware about the consequences. And if the consequences come to you, you can't really say that we didn't say anything. Just put it out there. I'll hook you up with a bottle of whiskey, be like, hey, let me pour you a drink, but I did tell you so. I did. So yeah. How's those child support payments going? That's what's gonna happen. But hey, thank you so much for joining. This is your Yeetus. Hopefully you guys had a bunch of gems today. Luckily, this isn't a 4-hour stream. And we are out. Peace.
Peace out.
Anyway.